Hello, and welcome to the Tutorial Toolbox. My name is Tobias, and this is Unity 101, episode 12. In this episode, we are going to finish off the enemies and attacking by making it so that the enemies will chase the player around as well as attack the player whenever the enemy is close enough. So let's get to it. First of all, let's edit the enemy. You can see there's a little bit. I was playing around with it, and the I removed the animation um component because it doesn't really do anything, so it doesn't really matter anyways. The easiest way that we can do this is for the movement to just copy the animator that we're using for the player and then using it on the enemy. If you were to if you wanted, for example, the enemy or the player to either move slower or faster, you would have to create another animator. But in this concept, I don't think it really matters that the enemy walks as fast as the player. So we're just going to do that. Yes. So let's go into the soldier and change his animation type to humanoid. Create from this model. This should give us the animator, and of course, since I've played around with it, it already chooses the control animator player here, but it shouldn't do this for you, so simply just drop it in there. And now we can animate him. Now we can make him walk and stuff just like our player. So let's open up the script, and there's a few things that we need to do. Let's do it again because it failed. Alright, so there's a few things we need to do. First of all, we need some variables. We need a public chase range. Let's set it to 5.0f. This needs to be f as well. Doesn't really matter this, but yeah. Public float chase range. Let's just do this. Public float attack range 1.5f. Public float attack cooldown 3. Public private float attack cooldown left. Alright, so that should do it, I think. Yeah. Next of all, inside the update, we are gonna have to. Oh, right, we need one more thing. We need a public. Actually, private is fine. Private game object player. And inside the start, we set player to be equal to game object dot find game object with tag player. And how this works is that on our player we put the tag player. If you don't have the tag player, uh, you should. But if you don't, then you can just create one called player, and then simply put the tag player on him, and you are good to go. So we assign him. So this way, our enemy. This also means that there should only be one player. If there were more players, you would have to do it another way. But if there's only one player, this should work. Now we need to, in the update, we need to check if the vector3 distance between transform dot position. So the distance between the enemy and the player is less than or equal to chase range. This means that whatever inside here, if the distance between the enemy and the player is less than how far away the enemy must be in order to chase. There we go. We do stuff in here. And what we want to check, we want to do another one. But this time it's attack range. So inside of here, we do chase. Actually, let's do it like this. Inside of here, we do attacking. Else, we do chasing. So, how do we do the chasing? It's actually quite simple. First of all, we transform dot look at player dot transform dot position. I think yeah. So this rotates our enemy to look at the place our player is standing. And now we want him to move towards us. And we do this by, of course, we need a private animator anim. Anim is equals to get component animator. And we want anim dot speed, that set float speed to 110f. So whenever we're within the chase range but not within the attack range, we look the player looks at us, and then we set his movement speed to we set him to move forward towards us. And then inside the attacking, of course, we want him to stop moving. Sorry about that. We want him to stop moving, and then we want him to what do we want him to? We want him to attack, but we only want that to happen just like our enemy, our player within the given got something there. It's my bad. It should be like this. And this should go away. Great. Our player has this attack CD. Alright, so let's move this into his update as well. And we also want attack CD to be equal to no, attack CD left to be equal to attack CD. And we want to attack player. So let's just create a quick function here. Attack game object player public void attack, sorry. Target. Let's call it target. It makes more sense. So if tag CD left is less than or equal to 0.0f, then we want to target dot get component player. So this, of course, this will only work on the player right now. Lose health 1f. So there's two things here. If you were to make a greater like game or something, it would probably this would be the way to go with the attack, for example. But instead of having a separate player script and an enemy script, the more sensible way would be to have a mob script or something like that that they all share so that they have the same functions and stuff like that, so you won't have to have two different kinds of things. But of course you could also, yeah, there's many ways to do it, but that would be my preferred way at least. So let's give our player the lose health. Let's give him the, if he dies, he destroys himself. Let's give him the max health and current health. All right. There's an error. Line 41. Oh, my bad. Missing one. All right. There should be no errors, and of course, we need to add the player in the beginning in the start function, which he doesn't have. He needs his current health to be equal to. Also, we could do this and make his animator like this, so we can keep it private and don't have to set it ourselves in the manager. And alright, so the enemy is moving towards us, and you can see that we're losing health. Not that often though. There's some failure. Or is that my bad? So we lose health only once. Alright, so let's take a look at that. Enemy attack CD left is equal to attack CD. If the attack CD is greater than 0, oh, we are not resetting it. Oh, yeah, we are. If attack CD left is less than or equal to 2.0f, isn't that the exact same thing we're doing inside here? It should be. It is. First of all, let's move this inside the attack though. Let's see if that makes any difference. There we go. So we're slowly losing health, and of course if we start attacking, the enemy will lose more health than us because we deal twice the amount of damage. So let's try and do that before we die. And he's dead, but we are only down to 2 health, so that's something. But yeah, So that's enemy chasing and attacking, and just show you the chase. If we move away, he's going to follow us, and he can actually still attack because he does not need to stand still in order to attack. And since he can follow us as fast as we can, simply fleeing from him would kill us, and we would have to kill him in order to survive. But yeah, that's just some things. And now you can see when we die, everything goes haywire. We are trying to access an object that is clearly not there. So what you would want to do is probably to create another scene, save the current one, of course, create another scene, create a GUI text that says game over. Just move it into the somewhat center. That's fine. And then in our, let's save it, scene game over. In our main scene, when our player dies, we should be able to do something like, what's it called? Hmm. Just give me a minute to figure this out. I don't remember. Alright, it's application dot load level game over. So this should work when we go down to 0 health. Or not. Oh, oh, my bad, my bad. We need to add scene to our game, so go into build settings. It's also a control shift B, but it's in the file drop down. We need to add our scenes that we wish to build. Um, let's see. Nope. Alright, so we need to do that, and then we need to go into the game over scene, and we need to add that one as well. And then that should allow us, shouldn't it? There we go. So now when we reach 0, we get to the game over screen, and that's that. Our game is done, and of course we can play it again, and we're gonna be able to play it again. So that's it for this tutorial. Enemies and attacking, part 3. Of course, you could add lots of more animation and stuff to make it look even better, but this is just the basics. It's a concept of how you can create an enemy that you can attack and that can attack you, and you got this game over screen when you die, and yeah, so that is actually, let's just take one more little thing. One more little thing. Actually, no, no. Let's let's do that in another tutorial. So next time we're going to learn how we can spawn in objects, game objects into the game from yeah, from wherever we want to spawn them in from. In this case, we would want to create maybe, yeah, actually, hmm, it's gonna be a challenge, but we will do it. But before we do that, actually, there's probably going to, okay, I'm totally derping up right now. So, sorry about that. It's been a pleasure. Thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to subscribe if you wish to continue following this series along and the other series that we're going to start. Next time we will be learning how we can spawn in objects into the game, and we will soon, after that, actually after the next tutorial, we will start another series in which we can, oh, sorry about that, another tutorial series in where we are going to create a game, oh, I'm sorry, a game from scratch that, and to the end, that we and our friends can play. So I'm looking forward to that. Thank you guys for watching. It's been a pleasure. Goodbye.